Yeah, so I think getting your first 1,000 customers is no different than getting your first 5,000 or 1,000,000 customers. It all comes down to a few things. Number one is having a product that delivers on the promise, but also gratifies your customer, right? That when they sign up or they experience it, you know, if you think about, the first time you ever been to a Starbucks and just the interactions and the experience, there was this aha moment where you walked away and you were like, wow, that was amazing. Like, you know, I've never experienced that concept. They asked me for my name. You know, the coffee came out tasting really great. There was, you know, it just felt like it was really thought out and thoughtful and kind of well developed. And I feel like that's the part that a lot of people don't have, that if they get right really makes everything else work. You know, some people think it's a marketing problem, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat, it's a product problem. So getting to your product to a point that delivers on the promise that you display on your homepage and gratifies your customers, or get them to this aha moment, or sometimes I call it the core product value, like getting them to experience that core product value. That's number one. The second thing is to build a growth engine, right? I like the word engine because it has this connotation or context of turning over, right? You pour gas in the tank, and then it produces energy and it kind of moves the thing forward. And as long as you keep pouring gas in it, it keeps moving forward. And it's just a great way to think about building your marketing, or your demand marketing, or your inbound marketing, whatever you want to call it, but essentially your ability to get new customers. So building that engine, you know, and the way you do it is you test different channels, different marketing strategies, you know, where you can figure out that a time or money inserted or inputted into the engine will result in X amount of customers, right? Profitable customers. So that's another thing where people, they don't realize that they can do a bunch of like viral marketing, and they get a bunch of people that sign up but never use the product. This happens all the time with PR, right? Where they think, well, if I get covered on TechCrunch, that's the holy grail of anything. If I get covered on TechCrunch, my startup's going to be successful. And I can't tell you, it's further from the truth. It goes like a big spike. A bunch of people sign up to register to confirm their usernames. That's the only reason they sign up. They have no interest in the product, but they think, if someday this might take off, I got to make sure I have my username. And they never come back, and they never use it, and they skew all of your metrics, and they make you feel great the day or the week of, and then you just feel like, wow, that spiked and now it's flat again. And it's not sustainable, and that's why, to me, it's about building an engine. So it's figuring out these different channels. Now, the third thing you want to figure out, once you have the product that really delights, and you have a concept of building kind of habits that get new customers, it's doing less, right? A lot of startups, they create a bunch of stuff. They think, well, I got to do Facebook marketing, I got to do content marketing, I got to do PR, I got to be speaking at events, I need to do all this stuff. And what happens is, most of the time, is when nothing works, when you're really not seeing the results, because you're doing too many things, you don't know which one of those things is the reason it's not working, right? Whereas if you do less, then you know that it's that thing that's not working. Think about this concept, because most companies die from indigestion, not starvation. Indigestion, not starvation, where they die because they do too many things and they don't focus. And when you do too many things, you don't know what's not working. You know, it's the same concept of death by 1,000 paper cuts. So I think those are the three areas. If you want to get your first 1,000 customers, or your first 5,000 or 1,000,000 customers, you want to make sure you have a product that delights. You focus on building an engine that's repeatable, scalable, to get new customers that are profitable. And then you want to make sure you're doing less things, not more, so that you really deliver or really learn faster. Because to me, at the end of the day, the definition of a startup, or the purpose, or what you should be doing with your team, is learning as fast as possible. If you have competitors out there, he who learns the fastest wins. And I mean, those are my thoughts on how to get your first 1,000 customers, and I appreciate the question.